Hey everybody, welcome back to Nick's Wonderment Adventure Nature Education Show. Today we're going to learn how to put a stove together. So let's go inside the classroom and hang out with Rick while he learns how to do a stove maintenance and put it all together. Oh hey Rick, how's it going?
Hey guys.
You guys all remember Rick? Let's all go check in with him, huh?
Just putting my stove together here. Trying to figure out where the marker goes.
Silly Rick. This is all wrong.
I could light it.
Well, we obviously had to have another class and show Rick how to put a stove together. So you guys are all excited about your new Whisper Light stoves. But you're all wondering, how do you use it? It's not with a marker, like Rick thinks. Let's go over some of the basic parts of your stove. Here you obviously have the burner, it makes the flame, the hose. Here's your pump, which you attach to the bottle. Pump it up, make sure it's all pressurized. And your obviously is fuel bottle. And a few other things you have, just some reflective panels. Put one on the underside and one around it. Stop the wind, keep all the heat in. Save your fuel and get stuff hotter. Let's first go over how to put it all together, how to fix problems with it, and then we'll go from there. So first thing you want to do, take the lid off the fuel bottle, and you don't want to lose this thing. So put it right inside your bag there. And then you'll take your pump, you want to put your hose in here, and screw it on there just like that. Make sure it screws on easy, because if it goes on hard, then you got the threads in backwards and crossed. So you want to pump it up. We're kind of empty on this bottle, so give it a few good pumps. And before you connect it, you want to test it real quick. Just open the nozzle. And you can hear the fuel coming out, so that's a good sign. Give it a few more pumps to get it back up to where it was. So next step, you want to take your hose here, insert it into this little hole, like so. And then you'll flip over this safety latch and clip it in so the thing doesn't come out. Alright. Now you're going to want to spread your feet out. So before we turn this thing on and get it all hot, I want to go over what can possibly go wrong with it. So the biggest thing that happens is there's a little nozzle down here, and it tends to get clogged and dirty. So before fixing all that, this hose can also get dirty and these vents. So the best thing to do when it's not working, just like you would an old computer, just beat it on the table. That'll normally knock stuff loose and the flames will start coming right on out. The next thing you're going to want to do, go ahead and take this part off. Make sure you always have a handy dandy Leatherman in the field. And this wire, it comes out. I'm not going to pull it all the way out now, but this is what carries the fuel down. So you want to make sure that you shake that around and get all the loose bits out of there. And then push it down and back in there. Alright, and then if that still doesn't work, your next step, you're going to screw off this bottom plate here, just like that, and then this whole wire will come out. So this here is where you have your nozzle. It's just a little pinhole. So you're just going to want to real gently take that off. And then right underneath of it, there's this little piece. with super tiny wire. It's kind of hard to see it, but it goes right in this super tiny hole, if you can see that. So then you're just going to stick the wire into the hole. Make sure it gets all cleaned out so you can see through it. And put everything back. And this nozzle you don't want to tighten down too tight, so just hand tighten it and then take your Leatherman and just give it just a little tweak. And stick it right back on in there. Screw your bottom plate back on. Alright. Reconnect it right quick. Make sure it's still pressurized. Alright. So now we make sure it's all clean and it's going to run right. First thing we have to do is prime the stove. So the way this thing works is the tube comes up here and it heats itself up and turns the liquid gas, or the liquid into a gas. So you have to heat it up first. So since it's all pressurized, you're going to want to turn the nozzle on and open the valve, and you'll see liquid gas coming out of this hole in here, and it'll fill in the plate down here. So we'll go ahead and get that going. I need to pump it a few more times to get it to come out. There we go. As you can see, there's gas coming out and filling up the bottom plate. So you don't want that too full. So now there's a collection of gas down here in the bottom. So what we're going to go ahead and do is just light that on fire. As that starts going, it's going to heat up this hose right here until it gets hot enough to start coming out of the vents. And one of the big safety concerns you want is to make sure that you have this closed, because if you keep the nozzle open, it's just going to keep pumping out the liquid gas, and it's going to have a huge flame, and you're going to end up catching your tent on fire, and not going to be a good time. So you're going to watch this flame and let it burn until the bottom part dwindles out, and you just have a little bit of flame left on the top. And then you're going to want to open the flame back up and make sure you have a nice blue flame, which I'll show you in just a second after this dwindles out. So as you can see here, it's burning for a long time. I kind of added a little bit of fuel in the bottom, too much. So you always want to make sure that you have just the right amount of fuel on the bottom. Has to help preserve fuel. Yeah, so now it's starting to dwindle out. Well, sometimes that'll happen. If you don't catch the flame soon enough, you can just turn the gas back on and then line it right on top, because it's still hot enough to turn the liquid into gas. And then if you see here, the flame is nice and blue. There's a little bit of yellow spots spouting up, and that'll happen. If you have a big yellow flame like it was when it was lighting itself, then you know it's dirty, or if it's not even a flame coming out at all, then it's dirty. So this is what your whisper light should look like. It's real easy to take care of and real easy to light and maintain. So yeah, that's about it. While you're burning it, it's nice to conserve energy and fuel. Have one thing underneath to reflect the heat up, and then have another one wrapped around it to stop the wind and also help channel the heat up to your pot. So you get the most efficient burning and use the least amount of fuel while you're doing it. So, when you want to turn it off, you'll crank it down and it's off, and there's obviously still going to be some gas in it. And just let it burn out a bit until it starts getting into the yellow flame again. And then make sure you want to blow it out so it's not just burning all that and sending soot up in the air. And it's going to be real hot, so you're going to make sure you wait and let it cool down before you put it back in the bag so you don't melt the hole in it. And that's it for the Whisper Light Stove. Hope you guys enjoy. And another episode of Nick's Wonderment Nature Education Show.